Welcome everyone, this is Unstoppable Streletsy again with yet another Definitive Edition 3 match to showcase for you today. This time though, things will be a bit different. Instead of the usual 1 versus 1, we will be doing a 3 versus 3. Now this should be quite interesting since we're going to see some very different types of gameplay than usual, since there'll be multiple players interacting on the same team to take out the otherwise. So on one side we have Shaman with the United States. This appears to be his main, since this will be the third time we've seen him go with this Civ. He has an ally, the British. He also has an ally, the Dutch. Expect a lot of manners, house banks, and probably cowboys if we know anything from the past. On the opposing side, we have the Japanese, we have the Swedes, and we have the Ottomans. So, in general, it looks like a team that's going to be running all over the place trying to gobble up natural resources between the torps and the shrines. And then obviously you'll have the Ottomans spamming out their free settlers. Should be an interesting matchup, I'm looking forward to it. Without further ado, let's begin now. There we go. Alright, it looks like Team 1 is going to have to do a bit of, well, it looks like they got some pretty fair hunts that they can herd in pretty easily, I think. Their mines appear to be in good spots as well. Let's see how the opposing side looks. Obviously, Japan's not going to have to worry about using these huntables at all, besides putting their shrines on them. And it looks like, in particular, the Ottomans got some pretty good hunts here, since they're really going to not have to put any effort down into hurting these guys. Now, in terms of mines, it does look like Swedes will probably be moving out a bit towards this row here to grab all these mines with their torps. Also, Japan will probably be running all over this map, looking for hunts maybe around here, here, and probably over here. Looks like shipments are coming out soon, so let's check the decks real quick, shall we? First we'll look at the United States. Whenever they finally send a card. Come on, man, send a card soon. You're a little late to the game. We're waiting for you. At least show us what the deck is. We're waiting for you, man. Come on, get a card. Let's look at somebody else in the meantime. Okay, so the Swedes on the opposing team looks like a pretty standard Swedish deck, you know? Obviously, blueberries, Engelsberg Ironworks, and the... Oh, surprised there's no wood here. Tends to be the standard start for the Civ. Okay, who's this? British? Now, British seem to have pretty good deck for maybe FF perhaps, maybe FI, who knows. Let's look at the Japanese. Japanese have some pretty solid early unit shipments and crates if they need them. They're capable of really handling any part of the game with the deck like that. And Dutch appear to be going more the FF route, I can imagine, with this deck. And Ottomans definitely going for that classic Royal Decree themed FI. I can see if everything goes according to plan, of course. Now let's see what the age ups are going to be here. And let's check on the United States. So, Team Cowboys. So it's going to be a lot like the deck that Shaman's used in the past with the Outlaws, but this time with a bit of team game consideration in his card picks. Should be interesting to see what these guys do. Everybody seems to be grabbing a lot of treasures, which is good. From the looks of it, it seems like everybody is doing their own little thing as far as treasures is concerned, so not a lot of stealing going on right now. I think the big thing to see is what Japan and Swedes decide to do in terms of map control. Because if they can get a lot of these mines under their belt, as well as a lot of the huntables under their shrines, you know, we could see a serious economic boom from these two that could directly go into the ARM and FI. That would be a pretty interesting strategy, to say the least, for them. Whereas for this team, I think it's going to be a matter of booming out, I think. USA can obviously do a lot of booming in terms of coin. British with their manners, and Dutch with their coin with the banks. So if somebody doesn't quite have the res they need, they could trade it off with each other properly. Orders. USA going for a bit of wood here. That'll be quite helpful in getting a saloon up. For USA Cowboys, it's all about that coin, right? The more coin you get, the better you are. Pennsylvania for them. Standard age up of the Governor General for British. Dutch. Looks like they already got their first bank up, which is great. How about the other side? Oh, interesting. So, looks like Swedes went for the military tactician. That's kind of a greedy option in a 1v1, but for a team game, it works out pretty good since you get your arsenal and your military wagon. How about for the greed? I want to start looking for hunts around the map. How are they going to deal with getting shrines and torps? Do we see a lot of shrines and torps lately? Well, we see some shrines down here from Japan. So he's going out quite far to get these. I think as long as this team here doesn't look beyond these rivers, I think these shrines can see a lot of value added to the Japanese team. Let's look for torps. I wonder if there's any torps around. I don't see any torps built out yet ahead. Pretty surprised. It seems like so far Japan is the only one that's really building out a lot in terms of their special resource buildings. What I'm going to want to look at now is to see what's going to be the longer strategy for both of these teams. They're going to be more aggressive, or they're going to do a lot of fighting. Well, we do see a bit of raiding from the British in the form of these hussars. Oh, ouch. That definitely hurts quite a bit. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. Ugh. I mean, I personally wouldn't have brought a villager out that far as Japan. He was kind of risking it a bit there, so you get what you get. Yes. It's going to be fun to see, actually, how much value these hussars get in their raiding. Could definitely give us a good sign of how the early game goes for the Japan and Armaments team on how they deal with these hussars. Oh, look right here. It looks like we finally do see the Swedes moving out a bit with their torps, like I mentioned. Swedes aren't going to let this hussar raiding fly. They're going to go for a full hussar spam against the British, who in kind are going to make their own hussars. We can see from the stable queue. I'm just going to look around at Japan to see what their reaction is. Now, Japan is probably a little salty about losing that forward villager, and in such, they're going to get some Ashiguru musketeers out just to make sure it doesn't happen again. That combined with the Swedish hussars could be a nasty combination if they use them together. I think British best retreat now while they still can. It seems like the defending side here is definitely deploying a lot of soldiers right now. And you don't want to waste those resources in your own troops and going for something too early. However, we do see the Cowboys coming up from Shaman. These Cowboys can make a big difference. He could also decide to disrupt this treasure right here. If he could slow down their ability of acquiring this treasure of about... How much is this? It's hard to see with all these units over it. We'll see... Looks like they're going to get that, by the way. How much is this exactly? 300 XP. Whew. That is quite good, actually. Japan can really, really use that, like, a lot. They're going to get some serious shipments out with that XP treasure. I'm telling you right now, this is not good for the USA team. Because obviously Japan can send lots and lots of shipments, since most of them can be sent twice. They're actually already starting to go up to capital age in a bit of an FF with the Golden Pavilion. Expect a lot of Ashiguru spamming with that Golden Pavilion. The nice little ranged military unit boost they'll provide to all those Ashigurus is going to be quite substantial in the upcoming skirmishes. I think British are just testing the waters right now to see what... Oh, wait a second. We do see a bit of a skirmish here. Wait a second. What's going on here? Is he actually charging these Janissaries with his Hussars? What is he doing? Does he have enough for this kind of a thing? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe... I can't tell, because obviously British are pumping their musketeers right out onto the front lines here. Ottomans coming in with Janissaries. Cowboys doing cowboy things to the Hussars. And then obviously you have the Minutemen coming in as well as these Ashigurus. This is a free-for-all. A literal free-for-all of all the players going at each other, except maybe the Dutch. We haven't really seen the Dutch go for much military yet. I think Dutch are just going to go for a bank spam, if I know them pretty well from my own experience, and they're just going to get a lot of coin. Yeah, we do see all 5 of the banks up from the Dutch player, and I just want to check the Dutch to see, have they actually... Oh, they have sent the Bank of Rotterdam, so they already are looking to go beyond their normal build limit with the banks this early. Okay, that's good to know. So I think in reality they probably could go for religious freedom next and get 2 more banks maybe. Oh, Industrial Age, Tycoon. That means a lot of coin is coming in for him. Are we going to see a mercenary spam from the Dutch? Who knows? One thing that's definitely going to make a big difference, though, is this wall here. It seems like Ottomans trying to stall off any potential threat to their FI is just going to put this wall up as a bit of a barrier to save them some time. And in fact, they've already started to work on the Nizam Fusilier Royal Decree technology, it looks like, since I can already see those coming onto the front lines. This is going to be an interesting fray, since Nizam Fusiliers, as you know, can handle a wide variety of units. You know, they can fight cavalry, infantry, even artillery. It all depends on the stance that you put them in when they're engaging in a fight. Will these cowboys be enough to deal with the infantry? You can surely hope so with their charge attack, but it's sort of an unknown at this point, since the Nizams could do some serious damage to him if he's not careful. Serious damage. And it all depends too, I think, on what Dutch are going to do when they hit Industrial Age. Are they going to go for standard units? Are they going to go for some sort of a mercenary from their saloon? What is the plan for the Dutch, since the Dutch seem to be a wild card in this game? You know, they haven't put a lot of soldiers onto the field yet, so they could really go for just about anything at this point. And in terms of resources, they seem to have a lot of coin, a lot of food. Oh, we already see a bit of fighting here, though. Yumi archers trying to deter the cowboys. We see Nizam Fusiliers and Janissaries from the Ottomans. We see some of the Swedish Hussars. Oh, boy. Raiding. Red alert. Fix that. Right. Yep, the cowboys are going to try to intercept that a bit, but to what of that? Yep, they will make him retreat. Good work, Shaman. Good work in keeping those Hussars away. But you are going to have to deal with this forward-facing threat from the Japanese team. Horse artillery. Get those out of there. You might be able to use those. Yeah. Well, I don't like that the Hussars could squeamish their way in here and attack them, but Looks like Hussars are not doing that right now. Lucky for you. But we do Falconets from the Swedish. I think he doesn't have enough though to really do anything. Yeah, Japan is unfortunately forced to retreat here for the time being. I don't even think the Nizams on their anti-artillery stance can really do a lot here. Yeah, get out of there right now if you're Japan or Ottomans or Swedes. You're going to have to wait a little bit to deal with this army here. I think this combination of cowboys, longbowmen, and horse artillery is just a little bit too much for you right now, and maybe, yeah, you're going to need units like the Safahi, probably some sort of great bombards. How are the Ottomans doing, by the way, in terms of their... Unfortunately, it seems like Ottomans don't quite have the coin yet to go for their FI. They seem to have shelled out a lot of that coin just to defend their teammates right now. So it might be a while before we see the Ottomans really start to ramp up their heavy artillery game against the opposing team. They will be shipping in some Abyss gunners though. I mean, they definitely will help against all of these units in some shape or fashion, even the horse artillery if they focus on them. So I guess that's a pretty good play. Who else can we watch? Okay, so it looks like United States... They just pulled back refreshing beverages. Any reason why they did that? I mean, you seem to be going full outlaw here, man. You're definitely going to want to have that technology just to make those charged attacks a little bit quicker coming in. So I wonder... Oh, he's going for an industrial age. Okay, now I understand what you're doing, but I'm waiting for it, though. What are you doing? Are you going for industrial age? Are you going artillery? What are you doing? Yeah, I don't see any wood, so I doubt it's cannons. Who is that? So that was another from the... Oh, interesting. Alright, so British are going to finally be able to get some guard longbowmen, I would hope. I think that would be quite helpful. Yep, guard longbowmen. A lot of range and a lot of damage with those. Certainly good against most of this infantry. They will have to compete a bit with the Yumis, though, since they can meet them range for range in that regard. What I'm wondering is, how are they going to deal with these Yumi archers? They're probably going to use the Gatling guns, yeah. Make sure the Gatling guns can defend properly. The issue with Gatling guns is they don't have a lot of range, so you're going to have to try to force them to come at you. Oh, no. Retreat. Hussars. Protect your flank. Protect it. He could seriously hurt you, really. Yes, he is. He's going to send the Swedish Hussars in here. Right at the horse artillery, right here. Oh, yep. I warned you. I tried to warn you, but you just didn't listen. And look at what happened. Nasty. You know how much resources was lost from that? That is just unreal. I think that's probably going to cost them the match, honestly. I mean, look at this momentum. You got flaming arrows from Japan, Yumi archers. You have these really notorious Swedish mercenaries finally coming in. How are Swedish doing, by the way, in resources? Yeah, that's the thing. When you're the Swedes, you can get lots of torps up. Which, yeah, it seems like he's maxed out his torps as best as he can. And he's just going to be farming resources for a real long time from those torps. And with that, he can go for just about anything. And it looks like Team USA here, not quite being able to push him back at all. They're going to have to sacrifice a lot of ground, I think, before they can potentially come back from this. They're definitely going to lose these town centers, these manors, probably some of these forward buildings, but... Oh, they're even... Wait a second. Are you even looking at your mines here? That is just painful to watch. Look at this mess. Total genocide. Oh my god, look at that. That's a bloody mess on your hands. That's why you have to look at your resources that you're gathering from. The mines, the hunts. If you're not watching and pay attention, and you're not putting up like any sort of forward outpost to garrison in, you're running the risk of losing like 20 gatherers and just completely belly flopping. And this is bad too. I mean, look, the flaming arrows are right there to intercept your horse artillery. This is not good. What is Team USA even going to do now? I mean, what can you... Magyar Hussars, great. There certainly are a good anti-flaming arrow solution, but at this point, what can you do? I mean, the thing that's concerning me is the fact that you got all this anti-cav in the form of the Nizams. You certainly got all the Ashy Gurus coming in. No, we don't have any Ashy Gurus. Those are Yumis. So, yep. This is good. This is good for USA. Those Magyar Hussars are perfect here. 1k HP. That's exactly what you need right now. Take advantage of while you still can. Take advantage of it while you still can. You don't know how long you're going to be able to keep this up for until anti-cav comes out on the opposing team. So just capitalize on now while you can. Keep the horse artillery nearby, Dutch. Protect those Magyars. Make sure that they can be aggressive and be bold without much consequence. Just keep pushing. Yep, the Yumi archers here. Just go for the Yumi archers. Go for these free straggling sweet vills here. That's exactly what you need. Abyss gunners, the wrong answer here. You don't want to... Yep. What happened? Did the game crash? Did they rage quit? What happened exactly? I thought that was a pretty awesome game, honestly. I mean, both teams had some pretty solid ideas, I think, in their civ choices. But I think in the end it came down to Sharman with his quick thinking, making those Magyar Hussars and pushing back when he knew that that team was severely lacking in anti-cav. Good play, Shaman. Next time, if you're doing Japan or Normans and so forth, just make sure you have a little bit of Cav Archers or Yabasumi or something. That's all I would say. GG, guys. That was a fun 3v3. I hope to do more of them for you in the future. Team games are always exciting since the rainbow of strategies always goes up when you have more people. I hope to see some more games in the future like this. See you next time. Hope to bring more wonderful games like this to you going forward. Signing off now.